All right. Pokopia going on. Oh, so to all the non-thousands watching. Check up on our Pokopia thing. Okie doke. Drinking my sister's Sprite too, right? Why is my upload so shitty? Oh, it's because it's waiting. I think. Maybe. Why is my upload so shitty? Downloading. Uploading. Could affect speed running. Oh, I love it I love it when developers acknowledge speedrunners and they like make things better for speedrunners. It makes me. All right. Okay, we're back up to green bars. Here, can we make this like green and yellow for today? St. Patrick's Day. Try that.
When there's nothing left to mediate, you take your coat and you close the gate, and you grow your hair in branches long, and you lose your days in the LA sun. Oh, nobody knows where it goes, where it goes. Love takes some time to bloom. When it's right, it'll find you. When it's right, it'll find you.
Add the color. Don't know.
When it's right, it'll come
Awful. Bad. That's not good. Oh, that was so bad. We don't do green often here, but when we do it half-assed.
We are mostly wasted time, half asleep and half divine, waiting for the
Oh, this one
fates
too.
tonight, waiting
Didn't do.
for these moons to heal. No one never is lost in this world as we think
filter.
we are. No one never is lost in this found as we think we are.
There we go.
Love takes some time to bloom. When it's right, it'll find you. When it's right, it'll find you.
doke. I didn't see the cold open of the Oscars. Let's watch it real quick.
All right.
We
Conan,
watched
you
the
look
Oscars
great,
the other
and
night.
The show's about to start, so time to hit the stage.
I feel like something's a little off.
Really?
Yeah, don't you think it's a bit much?
No, I don't think so. You look fine, so break a leg.
No, I think you used way too much white.
Oh, sweetie, I didn't use any white. That's just you.
Okay, you gotta wash this off. We start again.
Conan, that would take like 2 hours, okay? Delroy Lindo is seated.
It would have been funny if they would have said that they used skin like darkening complex or whatever.
Delroy Lindo can wait! I can't look like this!
You look fine. Go!
I look like Betty Davis with lupus!
Conan, go!
I won't do it!
I said go.
Oh no.
Oh. The dumbest shit ever. Weapons. Good music though.
What the hell is that?
Dumbest shit ever.
But 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not 2. So...
Thanks for the lift. I can't seem to shake these kids. Whew. Damn! They're gaining on us! What's the plan?
I'm gonna turn at this gas station, I'm gonna slow down, and you talk and roll.
What are you talking about? I've had both hips replaced.
No fear.
Right. No fear.
Here we go. Okay, jump on 4.
Just start me at the Oscars!
Go.
No!
Yay! Once your voice is fixed, we can get back to the important stuff, like the fans. I didn't want to always bring us down.
Okay, cool.
Ja, det är fel att du ska sitta och vänta på någon jävla gubbe ska komma på att du ska spela Ofelia.
Oj. Det var lite rojs.
Man kan inte skriva Ulysses som man måste köra till fotbollsträning och jämföra bilförsäkringen hela tiden. Vad händer med de fria konsterna? Konstnärerna måste vara fria.
Kunster visst du fotstickharder, som kunje jag får till med linverdetter.
Här i familjen är alla arga på pappa.
Kom igen. Tänk ut jag lärt mig norsk för det här.
Wow. Hey, I'm hosting the Oscars, and got these kids chasing me. Can I just come in and hide?
Nah, I believe you. But this here a juke joint. Blues music?
Juke joint? I'm great at music. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. Yeah, this guy likes it.
So dumb. This- All right. What do, we're doing Pokopia, right? And we're gonna watch some stuff. It'll be good shit. Good. Doesn't matter. I have that song stuck in my head. Anonymous. Wait, what does Marathon have?
Hello everybody, welcome back to This Week in Marathon, the marathon video that
Oh,
catches
yeah, I
up
can
with
still play
everything
Pokopia and
marathon
watch it.
related you need to know. As you can no doubt tell by the title, Bungie developers have struck back at claims that no one from the original Bungie Halo still works at the studio. We also have the brand new map, Cryo Archive, getting very, very close to release. Bungie has made the
Good.
level available under Redacted, and the community is quickly solving the ARG, basically a clue hunt, and once that's completed, the level should unlock. We also have some welcome changes coming to the game, some reverts based on player opinion, and on the whole, I'm going to
Okey-doke.
everything marathon related you need to know. With that said, let's not waste any time, let's get into the video. So first up today, we have Cryo Archive. The Redacted level has gone live on the game, but you can't search it yet. It aims to have Destiny raid-like mechanics, aliens we have never fought before, and on the whole aims to be the hardest experience Marathon has had yet. Bring your best gear, bring your best equipment, and have your team ready. Now you might ask me, Remy, when is Cryo Archive going to launch? Well, progressively over the last week, the Marathon community has been given clues. These clues, when pieced together, will actually unlock the level. From cryptic glyphs, clue hunts, riddles, and knowledge, Bungie wants the collective community to work together, find the hints in-game, and also very obscure pieces of lore, put it all together, and then that will unlock Cryo Archive. The latest entry on Cryo Archive says the following, and I'll put it on screen: Cryo Archive status available. Access protocol active. Requirement 1, establish connection to all factions. Requirement 2, reach level 25. Eligibility contingent on both parameters. Incomplete status will deny entry. So as you can no doubt tell, you have to be at least level 25 to get into Cryo Archive. I wonder though, if you search at level 25, are you going to have to be a very, very good player? I would say if you want to have really good gear and faction progress, at least level 40, and you're probably going to be very comfortable. Level 25 might be a bit hard. What is also released is the latest ARG. Now this ARG
damn
is
it.
a video, a
Why is that
teaser of
glitching?
sorts of the upcoming level. I'll put it on screen now. Cryo Archive on the Marathon, as I understand it, is basically humans that are frozen in stasis. Literally one of the frames shows the body bags of frozen humans. I so hope that Bungie goes really dark with this. Super dark, super sci-fi, really gritty. There is real potential here to tell a story, and with so many people loving the original Marathon story, I hope they play into this. Now what you also need to know, and this is currently where the community is up to on unlocking Cryo Archive, OnePeg said on Twitter, got a message in-game that gave us a portion of a passcode. Once deciphered, it gave us the Marathon is waiting, which allowed us to do the first step of an 8-step quiz whose questions changed every time, minus the last one that referenced obscure landmarks / references on each of the 3 maps. The 8th question was, what was the answer to questions 2, 3, and 4? Once done, that unlocked the current stage we are on. This is called the Preservation Challenge. The site is giving us multiple puzzles and a copy of a manual for the UESC Marathon that all must be completed with varying timers, but all of which are less than 1 minute 30 seconds, and all count down at the very same time. The puzzles all reference either the manual, multiple landmarks on each physical map, like the physical locations of the shipping containers on each map, whose numbers which then have to be catalogued to mark against the manual entries that have been redacted / omitted, diagrams, etc., that ultimately end up giving us, we think, a series of decrypted key entries for the final puzzle. It is ever present in the upper left hand corner.
We have like
of
quite
the
a few
step.
things
Right now,
built.
we have 4 out of the 8 puzzles solved. A couple of them we haven't even attempted yet. They're a bitch this time around. So in case you're wondering, and thank you to OnePeg for actually documenting all of this, and you guys understand it and so do I, you can see why it's taking a little bit of time to unlock this level. It is very intricate, very detailed, and you can see why you need the collective knowledge of many, many people to actually complete this. Now what is going to happen to these puzzles once they're solved? Well, OnePeg also said this. It's believed that 2 things are possible. 1, the map unlocks and is playable as soon as you finish the ARG puzzle, or 2, The map unlocks and is playable as soon as we finish the ARG puzzles after Wednesday's patch. What we know, you have to be level 25 with each faction unlocked to go to Cryo. That's as far as we've gotten. It is his hope that Cryo Archive also has some sort of raid/boss mechanic. Judging by what Bungie has said, I think this is a pretty safe bet. I am really excited for this to launch. Now, the patch that OnePeg actually mentioned, and you probably just picked up on this when I said it, there's a couple of changes coming to Marathon, both reverts and updates. The first one is that Bungie is going to pull back on Marathon's audio broadcast. So when you're in a firefight and people can hear you from very far away, they extended this range so people could get into combat faster. The official word said the audio broadcast distance change, we originally wanted to give everyone more info on the map and make it easier to make choices around audio, where people are, what is happening on the map, whether to run towards or away from danger. We're hearing we overdid it a bit and looking to pull back the range in an upcoming patch. This change should still give some of that benefit, but at a distance that feels more comfortable and intuitive to everyone. The other change, and I'm super excited for this, is that Marathon's Vault will be getting an update. Stack sizes for consumables, ammo, salvage, and grenades will all be dramatically increased, and the new Vault filters for keys and sponsored kits are being added too. On screen is an example of what your vault will actually look like. As you can tell, you can have stacks of 800 ammo, far more than players have right now. Now, literally, as I am recording this video, my friend said, "Remy, quick, you need to check the news." And the official Marathon developers have just announced that Duos, that's right, Duo Q, will be coming to the game this week. So the official release by Joe Ziegler says, "Alright everyone, we're going a bit rogue here. We have a bit of an experimental feature that's in development we want to test, and we'd love for you to help. As of Wednesday morning, so this week's patch, 10 AM Pacific time, will be enabling a limited time mode, Duo Q, on perimeter only, to test how the game plays with crews of 2 at a wider scale. Important things to note, it will be on perimeter only for now. The test will last about 2 weeks, but we might cut it off early or elongate it depending on how many people play it. You can only enter duos with a pre-made group of you and another friend, which means no solo queue. You'll be matched with other duos only, and if you would like to play it, you can select perimeter duo this week on the zone select screen to access it." Joe also said, "Just a note, this is a bit of an experimental feature, so we expect to learn some things along the way and make changes to future versions of this. This likely won't be the final implementation of how it would look and flow in the game, but for now, it was the easiest way for us to get you all to help playtest. We're excited to run this experiment with you all. Pending what we learn, we're hoping to expand duos as a queue in the future, and we wanted to take this first step sooner than later so we could understand how it affects our game better before investing a lot more time in fleshing out the feature. Additionally, this is unlikely to be the last experiment we run, so look forward to more of these as we continue to evolve Marathon. For science! Now, a lot of people have been asking for a duo queue. I've seen a lot of that on social media, but also there was concerns about dividing up the population too much. We will see how the population tracks and what the overall experience is. This is an experiment after all, so let's be positive about it. It could be good, it could be bad. Obviously, if it's bad, they won't develop this feature further. Duo queue on Marathon launches on the 18th this week, 2 days of this video going live. Moving on from that, and finally today, we have Bungie developers.
I had friends to play with, I'd totally be down for Duo Q.
Halo Bungie developers didn't work on Marathon. It was always a very contentious topic. People really latched onto this when Bungie did the first vidoc on Marathon from the creators of Halo and Destiny. And many people were like, there is no original Halo developers on this project. Well, Elliot Gray had this to say. That rhymed. "Damn, I'll have to tell Chris Butcher and Jason Jones and Tom Giaconda and David Gaska and Matt Noguchi and Bob Gleasoner and Lars Buchan and Tyson Green and Dan Miller and Shikai Wang and Eric Elton and Steve Cotton and Sam Jones and Mark Uyeda and James Hayward, and I'm running out of breath, but you get the idea." He went on and on and on and named every single developer who either worked on Halo or Destiny, I think it's more Halo, that is still at Bungie. I can't believe I did that in almost one take. That is actually impressive. But you guys get the idea. Many people said that original Bungie developers aren't at the studio, the most senior of which that I instantly recognize is one, Jason Jones, but also Shikai Wang. He worked on a bunch of Halo 3 stuff. Furthermore, Luke Hidden Xperia, which all Halo fans know, and you should definitely check out his new Marathon lore videos, they are fantastic. He even said when he went to Bungie, he briefly spoke with Steve Cotton. He is the designer of Midship, Zanzibar, Valhalla, Forge World, and many more legendary maps. He followed on.
Hidden Xperia?
That's actually impressive. But you guys get the idea. Many people said that original Bungie developers aren't at the studio, the most senior of which that I instantly recognize is one, Jason Jones, but also Shikai Wang. He worked on a bunch of Halo 3 stuff. Furthermore, Luke hit an Xperia, which all Halo fans know, and you should definitely check out his new Marathon lore videos. They are fantastic.
It's a ditto
He even
rug.
said when he went to Bungie, he briefly spoke with Steve
Hidden
Cotton. He's the
Xperia.
designer of Midship, Zanzibar, Valhalla, Forge World, and many more legendary maps. He followed on to say, one day I'm just casually having lunch with the designer of Halo 3's Warthog Run. The modern internet really is a funny old place. Now for me on Marathon, and this is just my personal opinion, after playing Marathon for almost 100 hours, and I'm going to do a dedicated video about this once I hit the milestone, Marathon has so much depth if you continue to play. It very much reminds me of Halo 3 and Halo Reach in that regard. These very small details, these all very minute things, they've all been done in a really, really good way. It reminds me of Halo 3, where you could put a boat in the water and it would float. Just those really key Halo 3 physics that made the game so legendary. Marathon has that level of detail on a different genre, and that may be very well evident because so many veteran employees of Bungie are still in the studio. So that's just my 5 cents. Take it as you wish. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is This Week in Marathon.
Interesting.
Cryo Archive. I cannot wait to see that release. It is going to be a hell of a challenge until
Okay, let's see. Anonymous leaks.
Hi, hello. On today's episode, we talk about Trump's demands that other countries help him control the Strait of Hormuz, plus the Republicans' desperate bid to push through the SAVE Act. Good luck. I take it back. Don't have good luck. Hi, hello, welcome back to Even More News, the first, the only news podcast. My name's Katie Stoll.
Sup.
Sup.
Hi, I'm Cody. How you doing? What's going on?
Yes, Cody
Mhm.
in the house.
Yes, he is.
Cody's in his house.
Yes. 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 He is.
Jonathan is also here.
Hey. Hey, what's up?
We're gonna have to
What's
take that back
going
again. You didn't say hi.
Hi.
Oh gosh. Well, maybe are you trying to like
All
update it?
right.
Trying to do a little...
25M
Get all this
NYC.
updated
Yeah.
stuff
Miss
going.
me with that shit.
Yeah. Back to my original thing I said at the very, very beginning. Sup.
Sup.
With the news and so on, I guess.
News is going. News is progressing. Let's start with a brief update on the war ongoing, of course, but maybe not for much
Fancy.
longer, but forever. Trump.
Attack on like 5 months, whatever he says.
Yeah.
Attack on a year.
Trump wants our allies to all get their ships out and help secure the Strait of Hormuz. He's like, there seems to be a problem here. Everyone else has these boats that they could come in and get involved in the war. Why aren't you doing that?
Why aren't you doing the war that we started? What
Yeah.
if, why aren't you
Unilaterally
participating?
started.
Why doesn't the world get together and help with the war? Interesting.
Yeah, wild stuff, especially after the beginning of this excursion saying, we don't need help, we've got this, blah, blah, blah. No, we don't.
Extra drill.
But now demanding,
And they were prepared for
that-
this too. They knew this was going to happen. They were prepared for
of course
it.
they were prepared for this. They've already won. The war's over,
There was
but
no
it's
war.
going to go on a little bit longer.
It's not a war.
Not
But they
gonna
did
be a
win
win,
it.
but it would be very bad to leave.
We need. I would really, I'm demanding that
Got
these
it.
countries come in and protect their own territory because it is their territory. It's the place from which they get their energy, and they should come and they should help us protect it. You could make the case that maybe we shouldn't even be there at all because we don't need it. We have a lot of oil. We are the #1.
We have so much oil.
Anywhere in the world times.
It only costs us near $4 a gallon right
I
now.
think it's much higher than that.
Fascinating clip.
We're the best in the world ×2.
They should support. No, wait. I demand that they should be supporting us. And also, you can make the argument that we shouldn't be there at all.
Yeah, a great point. I like how he's like, yeah, it just takes a couple people to really mess things up, like a president and a prime minister. Like off the top of my head, those are two examples of people who could mess things up really quickly.
Well, yeah, he's like, it's extortion at this point. He's like, we did this thing, but look, it's mostly gunking up your energy supply, right? This is where China gets its oil. This is where Europe gets its oil. We only get 10% or whatever number he's saying. So he's like,
why don't people see us as the good guys?
Yeah, like
we're the best guys times two.
You're like economically obligated to help yourselves, really. It doesn't really matter to us. You need to get those 3 guys who are setting the mines. It takes like a couple guys. It just takes a couple guys to do it. Who they would replace if you killed those 3, right? Like, if it only takes a couple guys, they can replenish a couple guys.
Made iron ink.
Forever.
There are only a couple guys out there.
So yeah, this seems like in over his head. I think, by the way, I don't know if you saw this Axios article this morning. There's reporting that some inside the White House, some insiders who maybe didn't want to do this much in the first place, are saying that people are getting buyer's remorse, that they were right all along, and I think this is probably Vance or his people leaking. Like, we should already start. Like, I wasn't part of this, and I said it was a bad idea, and I was right all along.
You did say to do this way, though, if it was going to happen. So you're not really...
Yeah, if you're going to do it hard and fast.
If you're going to do it like you're doing it. But I didn't tell him to do it.
I think that your speculation is probably accurate. Maybe some others in the mix. It's kind of self-explanatory. It speaks for itself about how you barge into a war by yourself without consulting anybody. And it speaks to also these leaks, this idea of just bulldozing over anybody that gives you a dose of reality, full steam ahead, alienating people in his own White House, sure, fuck them anyway, but the rest of the world. And him saying, oh yeah, there's a few people there that might louse things up, underscores the whole fucking point of why this was ill-advised to just barge full steam ahead into this excursion, because yeah, you can bomb the shit out of them.
Keep going that way.
And
they're
prepared for that.
Oh,
they're prepared for that. They expect that in the war. I just mean, yeah, you're going to have some more people putting mines in. They control this. And actually, that's not the world's territory, but it is where they get their energy. Anyway, just wanted to highlight that. And
yeah,
those
it's
leaks.
really absurd. What's happening?
It's really absurd. You know what else is absurd?
The vice president in what we were talking about, the war, something else.
But you know what else is really absurd?
In addition to that, now we are threatening news organizations for not covering the war the way they want to, even though I would argue
that's good.
News organizations aren't doing a great job covering it as is. But he seems to be confusing people online on Twitter with media.
Yes.
This is the thing that's wild.
To the some media's credit, you're right. They're not doing a great job, but they were pretty
move in here?
consistently on the beat of we blew up the school. Like, they really went
This
for
gonna
that
fit
and
4 Pokemon?
Kept it in the news, and he doesn't like that we know that is what happened.
What we're talking about is Donald Trump has been doing a lot of posting lately, like official statements from the president on Truth Social, where you have to like go and seek out the statements from the president.
Are they long and boring and nobody wants to read them? And then when he posts them, JD Vance posts a screenshot of them on his Twitter so everybody sees them because nobody's seeing them because nobody's on Truth Social, the president's website? Okay.
That is what's happening.
Okay.
So in this one, he is talking about how Iran is manipulating the media and feeding fake news to the media that the awful fake news reports uncritically. So he goes after the Wall Street Journal for what he calls the false reporting of 5 U.S. refueling planes that were supposedly struck down and badly damaged. And then he says, for instance, Iran working in close coordination with the fake news media shows our great USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier, one of the largest and most prestigious ships in the world, burning uncontrollably in the ocean. Not only was it not burning, it was not even shot at. Iran knows better than to do that. And I think the thing he is referring to is like an old photo shared with just like by random accounts, whatever this SKM News is.
Right, 5,000 followers.
Like, this is not the Wall Street Journal printing this, but he kind of lumps it all together in this mess.
Well, yeah, it's. I mean, and we've clowned on the website Truth Social recently, and sort of we're always sort of baffled by what that website looks like, but we always experience it through going to his page and just seeing his weird posts and the very, very bad, silly ads that they have. We don't know what his feed looks like. And if you are on Twitter.com, you know it's impossible to know anything because of all the liars and bots and just like the slop.
Hey, a Charizard, hell yeah.
Taking a post from like 5 years ago and presenting it like it was today, all these sort of things that go on. He's got to have the most toxic, like, Nazi, like, feed in the world that he's looking at, that he's seeing, like, in it every day. And that's obvious. It's just like, clearly he's just been melted by his own website that's worse than the other bad website.
He's probably looking at both his website and Twitter, to be fair, whether or not he's actively using Twitter.
Right.
I think he sees it. But I think what is interesting, I mean, so is what you said.
You don't have to...
Twitter, Elon fixed it, y'all. He fixed it to save Twitter, save information systems, and he's going to get rid of all the bots. All those bots and the discourse, and you know, it's going to improve. And all of a sudden, now we finally have free speech. Whatever the fuck. It's a mess. It's so much worse. It's so much more impossible to get accurate information. And look at this cesspool that they've created. I mean, it was already a cesspool. This cesspool that they've exacerbated. It's impossible to get accurate information. Look, that beast is biting you. It's out of your control. This is just impossible to get real information. But again, there's no trust in the actual media for various reasons. But they're not the ones spreading all the different, like, Netanyahu is dead for sure accounts, you know?
People need to learn how to count fingers.
Like, Trump is blurring reporting from the Wall Street Journal that he has a problem with, and then things shared by random accounts that he has a problem with. Those are in the same bucket, and then he says the story was knowingly fake, and in a certain way, you can say that those media outlets that generated it should be brought up on charges for treason for the dissemination of false information. So, obviously, this is an empty threat from him. Well, if he could throw out treason charges, he would have done so already to James Comey. Like, James Comey would be in prison for treason if that was within his power. But Trump has kind of, over the last year, seen that he's not all-powerful. There are some things he can do. He can issue executive orders. He can threaten people. He can try to get people he doesn't like involved in the judicial system and have their charges thrown out. And so he's like, okay, I'm limited, but I'm still going to say it all the time.
Well, then Brendan Carr talking about how FCC licenses are up for renewal and media organizations should pay attention to that. So,
or ship.
Well, you're right. I didn't mean to say, except he is going to do treason. No, he can't. I don't think he understands what that means or what that implies. But what they can do is continue to fuck up and try to put pressure on, news organizations.
This is audience of one stuff. So Brendan Carr posts his whole thing saying, oh, we're going to take licenses away from people who don't report the war right.
Yeah, that Twitter account.
That's also an empty threat. But then Trump has another post on Truth Social praising him. I'm really happy that Brendan Carr's doing that stuff. And it's like, okay, that's it. The job is done. Right? There's like the world according to Trump in his universe. And then there's reality, where everyone's like, well, he's not, what is he going to pull CNN's license or whatever, you know?
Right. Well,
it's only March. We just passed the Ides, so we're
March.
Ides aren't usually so hot.
March.
I know. That's true.
The Ides are not usually so hot. No, I'm wearing a sweater, but I don't need to be. I could be wearing a tank top.
I did want to mention one thing about so we keep bombing everywhere, obviously. And we bombed Karg Island over the weekend on Saturday. I saw a bunch of people start to
Oh,
share
boy.
this old quote from Donald Trump. I don't know if you saw this.
I don't
It's
think so.
from like 1988 or something like that.
The Iranian situation is a case in point. That they hold our hostages is just absolutely and totally ridiculous. That this country sits back and allows a country such as Iran to hold our hostages, to my way of thinking, is a horror. And I don't think they'd do it with other countries. I honestly don't think they'd do it with other countries.
Obviously, you're advocating that we should have gone in there with troops, etc., and brought our boys out.
I
Big
absolutely
house.
feel that, yes. I don't think there's any question, and there's no question in my mind. I think right now would be an oil-rich nation, and I believe that we should have done it, and I'm very disappointed that we didn't do it, and I don't think anybody would have held us in abeyance. I don't think anybody would have been angry with us, and we had every right to do it at the time.
Whatever, he talks like that, he always has. I've seen so many like MAGA accounts and people share this as like, see, consistent since day one. Look, he's been talking about this since forever. And it's just like
How we all got a chuckle out of that.
like instantly, it's just like, but if you read that 2 years ago, you'd be like, he wouldn't do that. He would never do that. That's from an old thing. He's not going to do anything like this. And now that he did it, you're like, look at our man. The thing that I love that he was going to do, he did it. It's just, I saw that being passed around, and it was another example of just this cognitive dissonance of like, yeah, you're going to do the peace. Oh, here we go. The peace guys. Look at them. There they are.
This is official, Republican
The
graphics.
pro-peace.
The pro-peace ticket. He's
Look at him.
clearly not convinced.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Yeah, if you have taken every position over the course of your life, it's easy to be consistent.
Oh, yeah.
If you've taken war is good, but war is bad, then anything you do, they're like, see?
Look at this quote I found. Yeah.
This is a good point, Jonathan.
Straight shooter. There's the arrow, right from the crossbow into your back.
Okay, we could easily talk about Iran for the whole episode again, but we're not going to because there are other things happening, such as the fucking SAVE Act, man. It's coming. I think it is going to get voted on this week.
I think maybe next week, soon. In the next couple of weeks, John Soon says that they're going to bring the SAVE Act to the Senate floor, get everyone on the record. It appears to not have a chance of passing. There are not enough